Am I the a-hole for telling my stepdad and mom that they shouldn't be surprised at what my little brother said to them when they pulled a prank on him? I, 20 female, am an older sister to my little biological brother, 17 male, who finished high school last year. My little brother and I are really close. He says I'm the best friend he has and he loves me more than anyone. Of course, this is not true. He has many friends of his own. My brother has been asking our stepdad/mother if he could get a new car for his graduation party since last year, and he said he'd pay 50 to 75% with his own hard-earned money while they pay the rest. They said no. I have a car, but I had been working for one, and they helped me pay it off. So my brother's arguments with our parents got heated after a while. One time, I told my brother that I'd help him pay off expenses for a good car once I got my own. He hugged me and said I didn't need to worry, and that he owed me way more than I owed him. But he continued to press our parents all of last year until they gave in and said yes like they did for me. Note that our stepdad and my brother have a negative relationship for the most part. Our boy mother and stepdad got together soon after our boy dad and mom divorced when we were little. My brother thinks that stepdad and mother were seeing each other before our real parents divorced. And to be honest, I think that might be true. Not certain though. Anyway, my stepdad, mother, and brother compromised and said they'd get him the car in 2021 so that people don't gawk at him at the graduation party. June this year, my brother and stepdad/mother are still on about the car. Now the argument's getting loud and lasting hours until evening. My stepdad was getting into screaming matches with my brother over it, but they reached a final compromise of the car being bought last week. The fated morning comes, and my brother wakes up to our stepdad and mom guiding him outside to a car. But not his, our mother's. Stepdad used his and my brother's money on a dumb prank, bought a completely different model of car, and said it was for our mother. Our mom and stepdad just laughed and kissed each other. My brother didn't lose it. He didn't even look angry. He just looked dead in our stepdad's eyes and said, "I'm not joking." Verbatim, "You might think I'm freaking stupid. You might think whatever. But I'm just better than you, bro. You know that. I know that. And our mom is a freaking idiot for staying with a prick like you. But I'll make you wish you'd never freaking met us. I promise you. You might be laughing now, but you'll be crying later." He then walked off, not even looking back at them as they stared horrified. They asked me what was that about, and I, feeling terrible for my brother, said they had it coming and not to be surprised. So now they grounded both of us. I've had to explain the situation to my friends as I can't see them anymore, but I feel so bad for my baby brother and they back me up on this. They ask me to comfort him as much as possible. But our parents are so mad, and they can't see that my brother had his heart crushed. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before the little update. Not the a-hole. Your brother is a better person than I am because I would be blasting stepdad/mother everywhere. I'd call the local news stations and ask if they are interested in a story of parents stealing from their child. I'd tell family, friends, people at church, random strangers on the street, post about it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, make a YouTube video, everything. Your mother's the worst for letting someone do this to her child. I want to say so many things that would get me permanently banned. Not stay home. I will pay for the lawyer. Wait. So your parents used 75% of your brother's money to buy themselves a car as a prank? Yes, as awful as it sounds. My brother is destroyed by my mother especially. Can't your brother report this? They stole his money. That isn't a prank. That is financial abuse. They stole from him. And since this is a car, they stole, what, thousands? A prank would have ended with him getting the car, or at the very least getting his share of the money back. It isn't a prank if you make a profit off of it. They stole from him, full stop. Then they laughed about it. They should be ashamed. Also, what they did isn't legal, especially if your brother is 18. Keep any text or documentation that it was agreed upon, just in case. I don't understand how they think they can ground a 17-year-old, never mind a 20-year-old. Pranks are mean. They're an atrocious form of humor. More bullying than humor, really. Your brother's money was stolen. He should make a report to the police. Not the a-hole. The only good pranks are reversible. Harmless jokes that aim to confuse, not harm or scare or bully, and have no lasting effects. People do some incredibly mean-spirited, heinous stuff in the name of prank sometimes. Update. Thank you everyone. All the insights mean a lot. I'm working on talking to my brother on a potential legal action like a lawsuit to get the expenses back from our stepfather. My bio-dad is generally nice and loving to us. I think he barely tolerates our stepdad and his ex-wife, our mother. And he'll take us back in full time if the law allows it. If not, my brother and I will move in together to our own place. Right now, I'm trying to be there for my little brother as much as possible. Lots of cuddles and free food, but he won't stop bawling his eyes out. I'm worried psychological harm has been done to him. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my kids' half-sibling? 2 years ago, I found out my ex cheated. He was trying to win me back after I kicked him out, but stopped when he found out his other woman was pregnant. They got married and now have a daughter together who just turned 1. Ex and I have 2 kids together, 14 male and 13 female. The kids are primarily with me because ex lives 3 hours from the kids' school. They see him every other weekend, extended weeks in summer, and alternating holidays. He and I are civil around the kids, but I ignore any and all communication with him outside of that. And he has tried to communicate with me. And so has his wife, but I ignore her completely, and I refuse any communication with her after she called me the C word for saying no to sharing Mother's Day with her the first year of their relationship being official. The kids know Dad cheated because of their ages, and the fact he left home and moved in with her within a couple of weeks. I told them they don't need to hate Dad for me and put them in therapy, but they have a very strained relationship with him because of his actions. Our breakup has been so hard on them, and I feel horrible that I can't make it better for them. I say all this to provide context for the situation. Ex sent me a text Sunday afternoon asking me to watch his daughter overnight because he and his wife had a family emergency they needed to deal with, and the babysitter didn't pick up. I sent a simple reply of no, and didn't respond after that. Turns out her father was dying in the hospital, and ex wasn't there with her because the hospital don't allow visitors under 16 since COVID. He has blown up my phone every day since. I'm still ignoring it. Now, part of me questions if I was the a-hole though. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. She's not your kid, and their situation isn't your problem. Sounds like a horrible thing to say, but it's the truth. And they live 3 hours away. Like, oh yeah, cool. I'll just drive 3 hours to watch your baby that you had when you cheated on me. This guy thinks he's God's gift or think Opie's a doormat? Lol, ridiculous. It's telling the only person neither of them could turn to is Opie. The ex who lives 3 hours away and generally won't speak to them unless it's about the kids. Not family, not friends, not friend acquaintances. Tells you a lot about how unpleasant these people are. Not the a-hole. And warn him of repercussions if he continues to harass his ex like this. Also make sure to tell your kids they're not live-in babysitters in the summer. This so much. I bet they love having the young teens around to care for their little sister, so they can be absent-minded parents or go out on a date night. Not the a-hole. You're 3 hours away? What? They don't have anyone neither of them cheated on within 3 hours. The freaking balls on this guy. And her LMAO sharing Mother's Day. I'm just going to assume she knew he was married during the affair. Not that it'd make a difference on your answer. Just the absolute balls on these people. I can't even believe it. It really pissed me off that she reacted how she did to my saying no. It's not like she'd even known my kids a year at that point. And being honest, it seemed bossy given what had happened. She had a husband who could babysit his own child. She wanted him there. He wanted to be there. It couldn't happen. I do get it to an extent, but I was not the person to ask. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for leaving my dad's early instead of babysitting? Haven't seen my dad in almost 7 months because I, 23 male, live like half a day away with my girlfriend. Last weekend, I decided to ask for some time off to go see my pops. And I asked if it was cool for me to stay there so we can hang out and do something on Saturday. My dad said that would be great. He seemed happy about it, so I thought that was the plan. I made a drive, got there by Friday night, and slept on the couch at his place. My dad has a wife, and they have my little brother, 6. Saturday morning, my stepmom said me and my brother should go to the beach or something fun out of the house. But I told her, well, my dad and I had plans to have some guy time. My brother could come though, no problem. but she said they had plans already. When I talked to my dad, he said he was sorry. Said my stepmom got all excited after he told her I was coming, and she thought this would be a great time for them to go out. Guess they were gonna do a spa day, go out to eat, then movies. It was gonna take the whole day, but my dad thought we could do something together on Sunday. But Sunday was literally when I was leaving. Probably have like 2 hours to spend time together before I needed to be on the road. I got pretty mad at him. I told him I didn't drive for hours to babysit. Whole point of coming out was to spend time with him. He kept saying he's sorry, that my stepmom just jumped at it and he doesn't want her feeling bad. Then she butt in and said I should be happy to spend time with my brother, especially with me staying at their house for free. Well, I told my dad there's no point in me staying if we're only gonna have a couple hours to hang out. So I just got my stuff and made a drive back home. She thinks I was a huge a-hole now for being bratty instead of doing something nice for them. They couldn't even got out after I left. I was mad when I left because of the change of plans with literally no warning. But I don't know if I was an a-hole for basically doing the same thing to them and refusing to babysit my brother so they could have their time. To me, it just wasn't fair to waste all my time there when I wasn't gonna be able to do what I went there to do. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. You went to visit your dad, and your stepmom saw a free babysitter for some alone time with him instead. She knew she was wrong. She tried to hide the spa day by suggesting a brother's beach trip. If she needs alone time with him that badly, she can hire a babysitter. You were cheated out of quality time with your dad, and shame on him for not sticking up for you and saying he wants to spend time with you while you're there to visit him. This father is weak and pathetic that he can't stand up for his own son. If I were the OP, I'd be making it another 7 months before seeing him. Call me when you want to be my dad instead of just her husband. Not the a-hole. Edit. Yikes. Do we all have crappy parents that always prioritize their significant others over their kids? Especially with me staying at their house for free. What? Does she expect you to pay to visit your dad for a day? Does she not understand the concept of visiting your parent? Her comment pissed me off almost more than her actions did. I'm really curious what she was implying, because that's just gross. It's not like you crashed on the couch because you needed some place to stay. Not the a-hole. She's an entitled brat. Not the a-hole. Did you drive up? Because that long a drive must have cost you quite a bit in gas. Not the a-hole at all. You haven't seen your dad in 7 months, and the first thing your stepmom thinks is free childcare? What an incredibly entitled and selfish woman. Your dad is no better because he just went along with her nonsense. Hugh absolutely did the right thing. In her mind, it isn't free childcare. It's an exchange for allowing him to use the couch for 1 whole night. That makes it even worse. Last story is titled, Am I the a-hole for turning my stepmom and my dad laughingstock in front of the whole family? Recently, my dad and my stepmom, Sarah, decided to renew their vows. Since they both cheated on their partners, they feel the wedding experience was ruined for them. They wanted a small get-together at their house to discuss some plans with the whole family. My wife, 25 female and I, 30 male, informed them that we couldn't make it because my wife had to attend an engagement party with my mom, 52 female, but they insisted that my wife and my mom come directly to their house after their party. My wife is Indian, so she dressed up in her traditional attire and made my mom wear it too because she really wanted to wear a sari and they both looked gorgeous. So when they arrived at the house, everyone, my dad's side of the family and Sarah's friends, were fawning over them. And if I'm not wrong, some of Sarah's male friends were hitting on my mom. We were just hanging around the living room area when I saw my twin sons, 4 male, starting a fight because one of them has something and the other one gets jealous, so I ran to put a stop to them because they might break it. When I went there, I saw Sarah and my dad just sitting on the sofa. So I asked them what happened, and they told me they feel the attention has been shifted from them. I knew they meant my wife and my mom. While they were telling me this, my twins started fighting again. So I said, Boys, if you don't stop getting jealous of each other like your grandfather and Sarah, I will put all 4 of you in timeout. Some of my dad and Sarah's friends heard it and started laughing, and soon it became a laughing matter. It died down when they announced they were renewing their vows and everything, so the dinner went well and we left. The next day, I got a call from both my dad and Sarah telling me how much of a nail I was and how I made them a laughingstock in front of everyone. So I told them I wouldn't have done it if they hadn't acted like children. I have been getting texts from my brothers saying I was an a-hole for ruining their day. So Reddit, am I the a-hole? Info, why did your dad want your mom there? That's the weirdest part of the story. My best guess is they thought that if Opie's mom was there being happy and accepting of them, then their marriage would stop feeling so tainted due to the fact that they cheated on their respective ex-spouses, and everyone else would start being happy and accepting of their marriage and forget the fact that they cheated on their respective ex. My mom and dad are cordial with each other. They don't have any bad blood. Or you could just say my saint of a mom forgave him for cheating and holds no resentment towards him or Sarah. Not an a-hole. They had their day on their wedding, and they screwed that up. Why would they want your mother to come to their house to help plan her ex-husband's vow renewal to his new wife? Good on your mom and wife for stealing the show. They should have accepted that your wife had a previous engagement. Your dad and his wife sound exhausting. Maybe they will stay mad long enough that you will be disinvited to the renewal. They had their day on their wedding, and they screwed that up. Yeah, that was going to be a given since they cheated on their respective ex-spouses. I doubt anyone at the wedding was happy for them at all since they ripped two families to be there. Mutual adultery is a big mood/happiness killer. Not an a-hole. You're an opportunist, not an a-hole. Dad and Sarah are only mad because it's true. They'll get over it. Disregard and carry on, I say.